Well, that marks the end of day one of Building Nations. I hope you've enjoyed it and that the different format is working well. We're going to put up the poll for the last time now. So it would be great if you can all vote for your top 3 advocacy issues that you want Infrastructure New Zealand to look at next year. So we'll put the poll up now and we'll leave it there for a minute. While we're doing that, I just want to talk about, there were some key themes that have come together today, and I think it has really set the scene for the discussions ahead of us over the next 3 days. We've heard from ANZ's Chief Executive, Antonio Watson, earlier this morning, that infrastructure is at the centre of global efforts to bring back better and revitalise economies post-COVID, and that economies worldwide are looking for lower carbon emissions and greener future. Climate risk being brought to funding discussions would accelerate investment in greener technologies. As she said, where the funds go, the future goes. We also heard from Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, and she reminded us that 57.3 billion is locked and loaded for infrastructure spending across New Zealand over the next 5 years. We just want to see how that was going to eventuate. Oxford University Professor Ian Goldin reflected on the global picture and encouraged us to invest in infrastructure and capacity and to build resilience into vital public resources and infrastructure, envisaging carbon net zero and extreme weather in the future. It was also encouraging that the ministerial addresses by Deputy Prime Minister Grant Robinson and the Honourable Stuart Nash were to see the key themes identified by attendees in our attendee poll coming through so strongly, particularly skills, supply chain concerns and climate change, as well as the acknowledgement of the contribution infrastructure would make to New Zealand's post-COVID recovery. Auckland University Associate Professor Dr. Susie Wiles' presentation on how the COVID virus works offered insights including potential better PPE, testing regimes and the ways we can reduce transmission risk in our working environments. The bottom line was that vaccines, PPE, ventilation and air purification will be the way ahead. Andrew Weir, who is the city economist, City of Melbourne, gave an Australian perspective with a COVID flavour, while our ANZ economist panel covered the role of infrastructure in the global economy. ANZ Chief Economist Sharon Zollner provided a mostly positive New Zealand economic overview, albeit with some challenges ahead. And Infometrics principal economist Brad Olson spoke to skill shortages and the supply chain issues. Thanks to Josh Cairns and the panel for helping us navigate funding and finance and the further perspectives provided by the COVID-19 Economic Recovery Panel across a range of areas. So I just want to go back to the poll and see, so the results are that at the top, we have addressing the infrastructure deficit and how will it be funded and financed. That's the top one. Climate change is also still there. And then we've got identifying the infrastructure pipeline and costs. So before I go, I just want to say thank you to all our sponsors, our speakers and our panelists today, and you and your attentions and your questions. And we'll look forward to seeing you back tomorrow, where our focus turns to local government and water reform. Thank you.
Kia ora, tēnā koe Claire. Kei te mihi atu kia koe me tō rōpū, me tō kāhui. Hei mahi au koutou nei mahi I tēnei rā. So Claire, just like to acknowledge you and your team in regards to the work that you have done today in New Zealand Virtual Symposium. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, a tēnā koutou, a tēnā koutou. Kai a koe e te ranatira Otene, māua katia.
Kia ora and greetings. And so a prayer to finish our session today. It's a prayer of invigoration. So kei noi tātou, let us give thanks. Tu taua mai I runga, te taua mai I raro. Tu taua mai I roto, te taua mai I waho. Kia tau ai te Māori tū, te Māori ora, ki te katoa. Tūturu o whiti, whakamaua kia tīna.
Tīna.
Huie,
Tāiki.
Come forth from above, below, within and from the environment. Vitality and well-being for all, strengthen in unity. Let it be so. Have a great evening. Kia ora tātou katoa.
Kia ora o tēne.